just to switch the discussion for a minute, we're talking a little bit about B2C experience in terms of customer experience here, but let's make this relevant to B2B for a while. From a B2B perspective, do you see organisations really keen to embrace storytelling as part of their marketing strategy, and are they nervous about how they do that and make it resonant and relevant to customers?
I think that's a great question. The truth of it is, getting back to what storytelling actually is, and we know that most CMOs in businesses, their current tenure is 18 months. We know that the pressure that they are being put under to get results. Well, actually, for me, we can use storytelling to drive sales overnight and then to create brands over time, if that's the challenge that we face together. So for me, it's not that different to B2C. We've got a couple of great clients that I've got the privilege of working with at the moment, and they are all about storytelling. They have realized that they have to shift their business from being a product into being something that affects lives.
Yeah.
And from that point of view, it's enabled us to start telling stories with them really quickly. And again, one of our clients in particular is such a wonderful person. They're helping us build these stories and they're augmenting them, and it's getting better and better as we start to build them. So I think the pressure from the boardroom is difficult. And I think if there were people in the board who don't understand storytelling conventions, that can stunt the growth of those stories. However, I'm a big believer in you can start your story with a product and a purchase. That could be the key point. I mean, I think, again, your customer service piece, that's storytelling right there. Pret do an amazing thing where Pret hold back certain bonuses from their staff, and they use secret shoppers to deliver that bonus to the individuals. So they are always on point with service. And then for me, that's just a fantastic way of using an organizational skill to get great customer service, and I talk about it when I get that customer service. So again, to your point, I become part of that army of people who want to go and talk about that service point.
I think in B2B, one of the challenges I felt in my experience talking to other peers as well is you sometimes don't use the word storytelling, because it's so, people feel that it's only for B2C brands. It's only for brands that are talking to younger people, or who, in B2B, like we are serious, especially the industry I am in, right? We're a serious company. We don't tell stories. We get things done. We do things, but so using the right lingo, using the right, type of words that you communicate with is so important, because I've been burnt with that, right? This is marketing stuff. Like, we don't want to be involved in marketing stuff. Like, okay, but it's not just marketing stuff. Yeah. These words and these, I had to re-educate myself to I literally started using synonyms. What do you call this thing that marketing says, and what does an industrial person would call it? It's so difficult for us in B2B to start, not just to create those stories, but actually get internal buy-in. And when you go out and start talking about your story, if it resonates, everyone's part of it. But when you get started, it's really hard to get people along with you.
And you come on to another great point then there, actually, because as you make the shift away from proposition-driven marketing activity towards more storytelling marketing activity, you quickly get onto the point of how do you measure the effectiveness and how do you demonstrate the effectiveness in terms of value delivered back to the company through taking a storytelling approach rather than a more hard sell driven approach.